Oh boy. Tickle Me Tyler is about to lose a whole lot of billions from that penis of his. His $1 billion penis is about to be a little smaller. He has gotten slapped with another lawsuit. Do y'all remember that guy, Christian Keys, who accused Tyler of similar acts? Well, he done got in trouble again. And to help me break things down and get a fair, equal view of what could possibly happen, I have someone who happens to have two of my favorite names in all of planet Earth. Some of y'all already know why I like one of them. She's here with me to break this thing down. That starts on the Lamont Tyson solo YouTube channel tonight, right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
That's right. Please subscribe. Hit me on the podcast. For those of you that love your political content, I've started a new channel and I've got a new TikTok. The Claremont Show. That's pretty much our handle on everything. So come check us out. Fellas, y'all are gonna thank me for this. But don't be disrespectful. That's all I'm gonna say. The person I'm bringing to you today, her name is Elle Diane. And here's a little sizzle reel of the kind of stuff she does on TikTok.
I feel like I need to stop scrolling after my last post, because after posting about Coco, her historic win, I'm seeing all of Arena's post-game content and like her interview, her statements, and it's just like there's something to be said about someone who is as accomplished as she is losing with graciousness. Because if this was reversed, Coco would be getting killed right now. Like, you have to just take a loss as a loss, learn from it, and come back better. But because you get beat does not mean that your opponent wasn't worthy of beating you. Clearly they were, or else you would have won.
There she is, ladies and gentlemen, the new youngest in charge on TikTok, Elle Diane. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am hanging tough, and you was right to say that. Coco whipped that ass, and she didn't know how to handle it. She was acting like a prep school girl.
I mean, it's sad to see because it was between her and the guy who is the editor for the tennis magazine. They were both kind of making all of these excuses. He had said that at one point, Coco couldn't be the 600th person in their circuit, which was ridiculous. So yeah, no, I'm glad she handled it with grace, didn't pay her any mind, and everybody could, basically jump on her for Coco.
Exactly. And if you want to find Elle Diane on TikTok, just go to TikTok, the scroll recap, and you will see all the great things she's talking about. Now, Elle Diane, I love this name you have. And can you guess why I love this name that you have, Elle Diane?
I mean, it's a great name, but you were going to tell the audience, so.
Of course. So my audience, some of them already know why I like Elle. Elle is my daughter, and she's named after her daddy, Lamont, because the first letter of my name is Elle. And if you've never seen Elle before, this is Elle.
Oh, she's so cute. Look at that smile.
Well, she's big Elle now. And so one of her ATL aunties is about to jump up here in a second. Nice. And the other name, Diane, is my mother's name, spelled exactly just like yours. So you've got the name cachet already. Now you just got to finish it off with the content. Speaking of content, ladies and gentlemen, this person is not short with content. Elle Diane, I highly recommend that you get to know this young lady. She's one of the biggest in charge in Atlanta, hitting the social media streets and that type of thing, getting to know celebrities and ranking them up and writing good reports on them. We've got our resident in the house, Monique Nicole. What's going on, Momo?
Hey, Lamont. Good to see you. Hi, Elle. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes. Monique, Elle was just asking about you. Not our Elle. My Elle was just asking about
baby
you.
Girl,
yeah.
I miss my girl. I miss my girl. Oh my gosh.
So
something else.
We're going to be back in Atlanta soon, probably sometime before this year's up. We'll come through and check you out. But folks, we're here because someone in Atlanta might be in some hot water. Again, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know this man. He looks like this. He looks like he could be Russell Westbrook's big brother. That's one look. Then we get to this, and this broke out this week that he been trying to tickle somebody, ladies and gentlemen. Tickle him. And this person was like, no more tickling me unless I get paid. And ladies, I got the news clip that summarizes everything that's going on. Once it's done, Elle, you get first clap. Monique, you get second. Here we go.
Now, actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual harassment allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with actor Derek Dixon. Dixon was in two of Tyler Perry's shows, The Oval and Ruthless. In a statement to NBC News, Perry's team says this appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam, calling the allegations fabricated claims. Let's bring in NBC's Stephen Romo, who's following this. Stephen, what more do we know about the allegations here?
Yeah, Tom, just going through those allegations in this lawsuit seeking $260 million in damages, alleging sexual harassment, assault, retaliation as well. The direct details include inappropriate touching. As you mentioned, Dixon starred in The Oval with Tyler Perry, and he released, we got this statement from inside the complaint. Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to molest, abuse, and sexually assault impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams. So you can read from that. This implies there are more people who are alleging this than just Dixon. We have a bit of a timeline here for the relationship that we know, the professional relationship between these two men and the allegations made in this complaint, saying that they met in 2019. The lawsuit alleges that then their relationship moved forward with this professional advancement. And in 2019, Perry offering Dixon a small role in Ruthless. And then in January 2020, that is when Dixon accuses Perry of sexually assaulting him in his home. And then the following month, Dixon alleges that Perry offered him a series regular role in The Oval. Now, we do have comment from Tyler Perry's attorneys saying that this individual appears to have been setting Tyler Perry up. They say that they are alleging that this is a scam and saying, quote, Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. Now, we've also reached out to the attorney for Dixon, and he said that these allegations in the lawsuit stand for themselves. So just the very beginning of this process, but a lot of people are paying attention to this. Tyler Perry, quite successful, quite a bit of fame here, Tom.
Oh, Lord, that last shot of Tyler Perry, I just got to say, whoever his barber is, boy, he got that good-ass beignet in his head, boy. I mean, perfect-ass lines going across that thing. But on the serious note, this is a man of extreme power, extreme influence, and we've oftentimes seen this happen with people in these positions, and particularly men, that use that position to advance sexually or flirtatiously to the point where it becomes abuse. Now, he hasn't been charged yet, so we still have to give him a benefit of a doubt. But considering that we had somebody around 2020 come out and say some of these same things, and the word on the street is Christian Keys was paid under the table. Having said that, allegedly, Elle, what do you think about it? What do you think about all this stuff, and what are you hoping happens from this?
I think I'm mixed, honestly, in my opinion of this, because I did watch Tyler Perry's documentary, Maxine's Baby, and I feel like you get a different take and a different viewpoint of how he is and the why he works so hard and everything that he's overcome and the stuff that he's done. But then it's like, and you kind of look at some of the text messages, I could see where you would feel for Derek's point of view, because you're like, this is your boss and he has the ability to make and break your career. He puts you in one show, puts you in another, and then he kind of makes jokes like, you know, I could just kill off all the characters and, you know, just start over or surprise everyone with this. So you're feeling like you need to tiptoe around this because this is your opportunity. But if you are not interested in that type of interaction with him, how do you politely say no without losing your job? So And it's interesting because you have the Diddy situation happening, and Diddy and Tyler Perry were kind of trying to work together to, get a bigger stake in BET. So it kind of makes you wonder, and he is worth $1.4 billion. So, I mean, it's a lot of money to go after.
Wow. Monique Nicole, we keep it real on this chat. I didn't grow this audience by being politically correct. So we're going to break it down. There are several dynamics I want you guys to comment on. Number one, yes. Oh, Lord. Elle, take sip.
I'm about to learn, I guess. So
she already know when she take that sip. You lucky I didn't bring out the tissue paper shades. Okay. I ain't had to bring them out today. But seriously, Monique, with Tyler Perry, one thing that he has tried to be quiet about that was always hinted at was whether he was in the LGBT community or not.
Correct.
And he's still not openly made a statement that he's in it or not. And if you watch the documentary that Elle was talking about, he was kind of wanting to be tight-lipped about that. So you've got that element. Correct. You've also got the power dynamic element that we oftentimes see too many times. Mm-hmm. But then you also have the element that honey attracts ants. And what I mean by that, being real, Monique, is a lot of people are seduced by that kind of power and will casually flirt, casually string things along to a point where they don't really want to go there, but they're trying to go there to advance their career. And then when they get to a certain point, they all of a sudden just like, oh, I'm done giving you what I didn't really want to give you. So now if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to throw your ass under the bus. Mm-hmm. So Monique, I threw the lob to you. Yeah. I'm Kobe, you Shaq, slam dunk this thing for me.
Yeah, so I need to marinate on this for a little bit, right? Like the journalist, the entertainment journalist in me wants to kind of go over the facts for people, right? So I did my due diligence and read the very cringy text exchanges between the two of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me preface this for newcomers who are new to me, right? One thing that helped grow my channel, of course, my bubbly personality and all that. But I think a lot of people do like that I typically am not biased in a lot of situations. And I do have the capability of being very objective. I do have the capability of putting my feelings to the side and just looking at straight facts. I don't know where I got that from, but I've always been that way. And so I say that to say, for the audience who does not know, I am a huge fan of Tyler Perry. I've watched him from the beginning. I literally was at a party last night, an event last night for his hit show, Divorced Sisters, literally. So I know people that work with him. I have close ties. So I now that I'm making more leadway here in Atlanta in the social scene and the media scene, I do have to be mindful of what I say, but I say that to say I'm not being biased, you guys. So let's go with the facts. The facts are that Tyler Perry inappropriately did text the actor. 100%. The texts were inappropriate. There were several sexual innuendos that were made via text. There's no question, comma. I mean, I have to say alleged text for the legality, but alleged text. That's clear. So he obviously violated that, right? The actor is his subordinate. We all have either worked in corporate America, have ties to corporate. We know what it is on the scene. This is a huge no-no. Mm-hmm. Now, this is where it gets a little gray. And you guys know when it comes to SA, whether it's a man or a woman, I typically try my best with discernment and facts to, typically believe the victim, right? Mm-hmm. And I try, but again, I'm a realist and I'm a journalist. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not saying that harassment or SA did not happen. Mm-hmm. I am just saying it is going to be extremely difficult to prove that. Why? Of course, the obvious, we weren't there. We don't have cameras. The second biggest reason why it's going to be hard to prove is if you guys take the time to read those very cringeworthy text messages, There is not a single moment in those texts where the actor Derek, I think his name, says, no, stop. I don't like this. This is inappropriate. I don't feel comfortable. Please stop. I respect you. I don't want to cross that line. I feel uncomfortable. There's not a single message of that, right? Whether he did feel uncomfortable or not, that could be debatable. But as far as it on text, black and white on paper, it was never said. Now, us women know sometimes when we're in uncomfortable situations, we can kind of like, we'll just, when a guy's being weird, we can kind of like just dodge it. The only thing with me is I can't dodge that as many times as that actor did on the course of, I mean, what, a 2-3 year text thread? If you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At some point, right? At some point, there should have been a moment where the actor said, hey, TP, hey, Tyler, I love you, man. I respect you. I just don't want to cross that line. I just, I feel uncomfortable. There was just no moment in that thread in the various text messages. So that is why I feel like this is going to be very, very hard. Yes, going, coach.
If this was a woman, would you have the same mindset? Now, I already know you would. Yeah, I already know you would. I already know you would. But what I'm saying, the reason I set that up for you,
yes,
is because I'm a huge proponent of women's rights. You know that.
I've been, trust me.
But yeah, I always feel like sometimes you have a situation where these people in power do commingle. They do commingle things in someone's face for personal favors, and sometimes people entertain that to a degree. And I'm not saying that everybody does this or everyone is doing it, but I guess I've said all that to say, if at some point in time someone says no, that's the moment if you keep going when it's wrong.
Correct.
So even if this has been going on for 2 years, if they were in the bedroom and Tickle Me Tyler tried to tickle him in the rear end and Derek said, not today, no, and Tyler still slapped him on the ass or tickle me Elmo ball, anything, that's harassment or abuse.
Yes.
Right?
Now, and I am not I am not an attorney. I just happen to follow a lot of attorneys on TikTok. So I am a fake lawyer in my head. Yeah. What was I gonna say? So I agree with what you said, everything. And please remember, guys, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it's very hard. It's going to be hard to prove it. And it's not a slam dunk case. What I was going to say is, to your point, Lamont, we're talking about 2-3 years of text messages. The next issue I have with the alleged victim is he says that Tyler invited him to his home. Once. Tyler allegedly did not do anything, just the flirtation, the sexual innuendos. Okay, you guys continue your working relationship. Y'all continue the text messages. He invites you a second time. And he invited you, went over there. Then he invited you a third time. And then now the third time, allegedly, if I'm correct, I could be wrong. I think he's saying the third time he went over there, that is when said a schmaltz may have happened, him pulling down his pants and grabbing him by the neck and saying, oh, do you yes. So my issue is, and women, we know this, right? If I feel uncomfortable by said man has sent me a laundry list of text sexual innuendos. And I'm not trying to victim blame, but we got to be real here. If I am a woman and a man is already laying it on me that thick and heavy, no pun intended, do you think I'm gonna go over there to his home at midnight?
It depends on how bad you want that acting career.
Yeah. Do you think I'm gonna spend the night in his guest bedroom?
Well, depends on how bad you want that acting career.
Okay, go ahead.
I would say the first time he said he invited him over, it was to talk about his career, what movie roles he could have for him or TV shows. And it was a lot of heavy drinking. And at that point he was like, Tyler Perry was insisting, I don't want you to drink and drive. I don't want something to happen to you. Just stay. And so he didn't think anything of it. Like, oh, he's just nice. I will stay. So I will give you the first time. But to your point, the second and third time you go to someone's house, if you're not interested in going that kind of I'm paying to play route, you shouldn't really be there.
After they have already made numerous advanced statues, sexual innuendo, there's just, you know what time it is. And again, I don't want to be labeled as double standard, because I know if there was a woman, I would be judged harsher if I said what I'm saying. And I never try to blame the victim, but this is the reality, guys. And criticize me. Listen, I was young and dumb. I'm telling you, I'll be 35 in September. Ever so often I reminisce about my college years. You guys, I was young and dumb once. And I looking back, I have put myself in a couple very compromising situations, right? That could have ended terrible for me. And by the grace of God, I got out of those situations. Okay. So I say that to say, I never want my verbiage to be taken as victim blaming, but we do have to sometimes tap in and say, hey, if this guy is hitting on me this intensely, if this guy is talking about his DICK, I mean, should I go over to his house at midnight? Like, I just, again, not victim blaming, but we've got to use that. And then to Elle's point, I think we all on the panel can agree, okay, we'll give you grace for the first time, but the second time and the third time, it's a little difficult. And then last point, and I'm done yapping, but from a legal lawsuit standpoint, $260 million is an absolutely egregious amount. Who in the F do you think you are that you think you're going to, like, I don't even know, like, people who do those lawsuits are people who are suing like airlines for like catastrophic debt. Like, I mean, you get what I'm saying, guys? Like, this is
Tyler Perry is worth the price of 3 airlines.
Yeah, and I think also when it's like an EEOC, since he did report it to them, they will give you kind of like a range of what you number for, because it's like future earnings, your current earnings, like any type of
mental trauma.
Yeah. So I think they will kind of give you a parameter, but I mean, I don't think realistically a jury.
And this is a negotiating tool, Momo. Like he's trying to, they set that high number because they want you to come down to an agreed hush money term. So 260 and Tyler Perry, I just give you 5 and go away.
I hear everything y'all saying and it sounds cute. No. 260. There are people that the Central Park 5 didn't get. There's so many people. 260 million. I just think is such a crazy number, and I hate this term that I'm about to use because it gets placed on women all the time. Oh, money grab, and I hate that word because it does get villainized against a lot of women who are victims, especially women of color who are victims. But God, I mean, and this was. And I don't, I'm not going to say that, but the number really was one of the first things that struck me. And I just don't know if his attorneys are greedy. I just 260 million. I've been on this for 35 years. I just don't think, I don't know.
Elle, jump back in here. Do you have any rebuttals or any other insight before we go to the next part of kind of where I think this case is going to go?
I mean, my only thing I guess I would say is the power dynamic. We have to kind of go back to that. If someone is your actor and this is your boss, he runs the studio, he owns everything, because we know that it's like a vertical integration with his company. So he's not beholden to like shareholders or a board of directors to say like, we're going to keep this person, I'm going to get rid of this person. He doesn't really have to answer to anyone. We know that from his script writing, that he's the only one doing that. Yeah. How do you then tell him just no? Because we can see in that text thread too, like he's like, yeah, I'm working on making sure that my no is no. And Tyler's telling him, you need to make sure you have a really strong no in Hollywood. You don't want to get taken advantage of. But then at the same time, he's like, well, I might say yes for an Oscar, JK. So we know that he's, kind of wanting this career. You really want this to be a thing that happens for you. So I don't know if someone's coming on to you, if you can so easily just say, hey, you're making me uncomfortable. Don't talk to me that way. Or don't go that way. So sorry, not interested. Like if he's joking about firing people that tell him no, I don't think you would feel comfortable saying that.
And speaking from a man who has been on the other end of this, where I've been like in an independent contracting situation, and I was supposed to help people that were independent contractors, but they needed me because I had been doing this business longer to help them. Right. And they would flirt and stuff like that, and I would just brush it off. And the reason they would flirt was because the people we were contracting from, I had a whole lot of pull with them. I had their ear. I was getting people increases in their independent contracts. I had their ear. And so people would flirt with me to see how far it could go. And then when I called one of them on it, when I was like, okay, let's do this, we get to the point where I'm all excited. I'm about to explode like Mount Kilimanjaro. And they said no. They said no. And I ain't about to sit here and essay nobody. So I said, fine. But the manner in which she done that, I mean, and let me explain to you when I say that. You asked me to come to your house 11 o'clock at night. You asked me to bring you alcohol. You know I don't drink. You're laying on my lap, telling me to rub your back. And I'm thinking, okay, you want me to do something. What else am I supposed to think? So I start rubbing and touching, and then she just says, no, I don't want you to do that. And I said, fine. And I got up and left.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm hearing, did you touch so-and-so? And so, huh?
Well,
the one thing I always tell men, and I guess I need to start telling women too, you have to keep receipts in terms of like text messages, emails, and stuff like that. It might not prove your point, but it can validate certain situations. So the way I got out of that was I had text messages from this woman when I was living in Greenville where she texted me to come to her house. It was 10 minutes to 11, and it said bring lots of alcohol. And I told her, I was like, look, I'm going to shut this shit down now. I got these text messages. I don't care that you deleted yours. I ain't delete mine. And if you keep running around here telling these people that I touched you inappropriately when you put my hand on your back and told me to rub, I'm going to show it. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, it's easy to see how this thing can be a very gray area because some people will tease their way into trying to get you, inciting you doing something. Basically, is what it is. And then you have those that are empowered that want to use that power to get you to do something for them. So you've got the best thing to do. You have to protect yourself and have some receipts. Now, having said that, Elle and Monique, this is what I think the setup is for Tyler Perry. Excuse me, not for Tyler, but for how his adversaries want to get his demise. And I think it's going to start with this person right here. Another video clip. Take a look.
This person is a predator, and he's one of several. And I have proof. It's not like I'm just making false accusations. The receipts, the recordings down to the police department, and let them hear this individual, the month and the year that he showed up to my apartment and offered me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I declined because, again, scenic route. I got my integrity with me. I'll take the long way around. I recorded it because I didn't trust him, and I had told him over and over, and he still always tried shit. So if people don't believe me, they can hear him. I can press play, and you can hear the person, and you'll know immediately who the person is that's offering me $100,000 to strip. You'll know right away, and it'll break your heart.
So, Elle, I think the way that they're going to try to do this, I think if I could be a fly on the wall in his house, I'm sure him and this new accuser have had conversations, and they're probably trying to get together the fanboys that possibly have been offended by Tyler Perry to all come together and try to just throw him under the bus completely And by saying that, we have to realize that this man has been, for the most part, nothing but good for the quote unquote community. Been nothing but good. He gives to charity. He pays for old folks, retirement homes. He's buying land for people that about to lose that. He's done all that. But at the end of the day, Elle, he's still a human. Yes. He's still a grown ass man with testosterone. I mean, and that testosterone gives you greater variety the more money you got surrounding it. So having said that, do you think that the fix could be that this is going to be a group way to get Tyler Perry's money, starting with Christian Keys and then going back to Snowflake here?
Yeah. I would say for me, I think the biggest thing is if you know you have certain predilections, like Diddy, for example, with your freak offs, you should find willing participants always. And if you're pursuing someone who's not expressing the same like enthusiasm or energy, like to participate and do the things that you want to do, you should back off of that person. So there's nothing wrong with whatever you're wanting to do. You're an adult, you can make those choices. And as long as, everything's legal and kosher, I don't really care. But I do think you shouldn't be, turning to employees or people who don't really have the same even footing with you to say like, I'm not interested in doing that. So with Christian, if he went through this experience and now Derek's talking about this, I feel like, we're kind of getting to that where there's smoke, there's fire type of dynamic, because I feel like if someone keeps accusing you of something and you're hearing more and more people talk about it, yes, we could say people are coming after you because of your money. But if you're not talking to people in this manner, there's nothing for them to bring receipts about you with. Because I feel like there are people in Hollywood we never hear this from, like Denzel Washington. I would point to as someone we don't hear someone saying like, oh, he talked to me inappropriately. He was touching me inappropriately. He made these types of jokes. He's very professional. Samuel L. Jackson, I would say, is another person like that. We don't hear them having these moments. But then, with Diddy, like people would make these jokes. And even like I was telling you earlier with the Boondocks episode that I watched on this, like these jokes are being made about these people, and jokes, they say there's truth in all jest. So I feel like they're coming from somewhere. So if you don't want to get caught up or in a situation where someone's then suing you, find willing participants that want to engage in the activity that you're wanting to engage in. Then you don't have to be like, oh, I was just joking. You could have told me no at any time. They would have been like, no, I'm with it. Like, let's go. Yeah, exactly. To your house, let's get drunk. Like, whatever. It just, I think he could have approached this differently. And if you have a lot to lose, you should act like it. Like, it shouldn't be this boom, I'm going to talk to reckless to anybody. Because again, you never know when this setup could come. So you should just, conduct yourself in a professional manner. Keep your business and personal separate.
Well said. I definitely agree. Monique, I'm going to throw it to you kind of in the same vein of what she said. When you are someone that has obtained the kind of wealth and success in this particular industry, Elle, there's no way you're going to get away from being around big groups of people, diverse groups of people. Some will love you, some won't like you, some would throw themselves at you, and some won't. And so having said that, Monique, do you think that this is going to be one of those proximity situations where we might have people coming out of the woodworks the way it did with Cosby? And like Elle said, if it walked like a mongoose, quacked like a duck, it damn sure ain't a snake. Definitely not a rattlesnake, because them the wrong noises. Floor, Monique.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I gave myself a minute to even think of there potentially being more people coming out. I really hope not. Again, this is difficult for me because I am a fan of this person. And the same way I was a fan of Diddy. However, I will tell you, after the Diddy stuff and just me following the case and like hearing the detail, I mean, I don't put anything past anybody now. And it's hard to say that because I used to be naive, like, oh my God, this person could never. I don't know these
Mo,
people. I don't know them.
we fall in love with our heroes so
Yeah.
much so that we can't see the bad. Look at the world of MAGA. I mean, Trump does bad shit right in their face, and they will tell you Trump will sit there, pull down a 13-year-old's pants and spank her on the ass, and they'll say she wasn't 13. She wasn't 13.
They're
So,
you know,
true, but still, some people can be so into their heroes or people that they admire that they'll give them passes on certain things and they'll overlook some things. And do you think that this could be another situation?
Yeah, it happens all the time. I can tell you with Tyler, it is not going to be a Black community take him down. It's going to be a lot of Black people, not only fans, but people in the industry going to support him. Now, unless it just escalates to the point of no return, and you know, we can use Diddy as a reference, whatever. It's just unless it gets to that point. I mean, I've read the comments. You know, most people are defending him. You know, now I don't know if it's because this actor is white. If it was a Black actor, I wonder if.
Well, we've already seen that. We saw what it was like when Christian Keys came out. They was trashing him.
Well, I will say that Christian, his comments were a little bit different, right? It was a little bit more of a variety, I will say. There were some people that were trash talking him. And then there were a lot of people were like, we believe him, believe it or not. Yes. So, I'm not sure, guys. Like, I'm like, this just came out yesterday. So I'm still trying to honestly wrap my head around this. Look, and we're not going to shy away from the fact that the Black community has been calling him gay for the last over 10 years. So, and when they did that, I never had a real stance on it. I was just kind of like, I don't see it, but sure, maybe 50-50. I was just kind of like, if he is, he is. If he isn't, it isn't. I don't. If he was, it's not changing anything for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going to support him. I still like him. But it's always been a banter within the Black community. We know that for sure. And then just last week, he was spotted on a boat, a yacht with, was it J-Lo's ex? Like that dancer? Was it the dancer? Whatever. One of his.
Was it Casper?
I think it was Casper, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So, you know, the timing.
What was he spotted on the boat doing?
I mean, they were just chilling, but it was just them two on the boat.
So it's a yacht play.
There was no other.
Was this the love boat?
I'm doing that with you. I ain't doing
I tried to have this discussion the other day, and yachting is a thing. And I feel like a lot of people, you know, we're not as versed in this because I think this is something more in like white Hollywood. But now that we have more famous Black actors and actresses and some that are wealthy like Tyler Perry, I think yachting is very much a thing.
We like a lot of Black people like getting on cruise ships.
No, that's not the issue. The issue was that it was a very intimate situation, seemingly, because it was literally just them two that was.
Yeah. So yachting is just another term of being an escort.
Pretty much.
Oh,
yes. Yes, yeah. And the reason being, the reason being is because when you get on international waters, the laws don't apply.
Yeah, things change.
And a lot of these rich billionaires own yachts because you get a tax break, you get depreciation, and when you get to go in international waters, you can do drugs. Think of all the things Epstein did on his island. You can start doing that shit before you get to the island.
Hey. This is true.
So there's always like blind items about different actors and actresses that, you know, they spend their summers in the south of France, and we see these paparazzi photos of them on yachts, and it's yachting. Like, it's a culture that's been going on, I guess, since
there's a lot that goes into that yachting. It's not a typical experience.
Yeah, so you're not just going for a boat ride. You're going for
I mean, if you're going for a boat ride, you get a Kawasaki. not a damn yacht.
Yeah.
I don't know how big the boat was, but it was, you know.
Yeah, so there's a lot of a lot of names, famous names that get thrown around with yachting allegations.
Thank you for educating me.
Yeah.
There's one billionaire who works behind the scenes. And I'm not gonna say who it is and how I'm associated with them, but there's this billionaire that has had Oprah, Stedman. What's Oprah's best friend's name?
Gail.
Yeah. And Tyler Perry on his yacht, and they went south of France, just as Elle said. And a lot of things was going on in that boat because I was privileged to hear about what was going on that boat. And these are things that they do not want y'all to find out about because there's no paparazzi out there unless you just know unless someone gives you the mapping travel or where the boat is going. There ain't no paparazzi out there.
Nope. Ciao, boo, boo, boo.
Well, it's time for us to be petty. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the petty moment of the show. And I just got to ask this question now because, people are thinking it, but I don't know. I want to hear what you ladies say. Monique, I'm going to you first, Monique. Now, if these allegations are true, is this dude good looking enough for the trouble? That's petty.
He's definitely not. That's not the best picture of him. But I used to watch the show, The Oval. Like I'm very familiar with the character, the actor that played it. I mean,
Mo, you got to love your person. You got to love your person for the way they look when they roll out the bed, before they put on the makeup and the eyeshadow.
The guy that Derek, Dale, whatever. He's not. His character was named Dale, I think. Yeah. So look. I'm not. He's not a bad looking guy. It's just nobody is worth all this. Nobody is worth $260 million. I don't give a goddamn who you look like. Goddamn, you ain't worth it. Period.
Oh God.
So I don't give a damn about no looks.
I knew I would get her, Elle. I knew I would get my ATL out of her. So now, Elle, I pass the baton to you. Is this man fine enough for the allegations and for the trouble that he could cause?
Yeah, the juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze, in my opinion.
But I love it.
That's a really lovely way to put
it. I love it. I love it. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear from you all. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you think it's kind of like what we all think, that there's a little bit of both play in here. I think that, as Monique said so eloquently, after a couple of times going to somebody's house, usually by the second time, they done played their damn hand, especially if you just hot in the pants, as it seems like he was. You done played your hand, so you know what you're getting into. Let us know what you think. Be sure to come check out my political channel, The Claremont Show. That's me and Claire. Download our podcast. And before we get out of here, Elle, tell us about the things people can look forward to on your TikTok and what you'll be doing this week.
Just more updates, keeping up with news stories. Probably going to post about Tyler Perry. I don't really do too much with entertainment, kind of keep it general, but I think, that's just kind of what's making headlines right now. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing this week. Follow me if you want to learn or hear more from me. But this is great. Thanks for having me on.
Her link is in description. And Momo, the youngest in charge in the A, don't look a day past 26. What you got going on all your social medias?
Chad, y'all, there's just so much happening. I have so many event recaps to do and edit. Last night I went to an event they had with some of the cast of Tyler Perry's Divorced Sisters here in Atlanta. So that was a great event. I met some of the cast, did some interviews and all types of stuff. So networked, all the whole nine. So I've been doing a lot of stuff. So I have a lot of recaps and event recaps to do. I'm definitely going to do a hot topics video. I honestly either tonight or tomorrow. And then just make sure you guys check me out on TikTok. TikTok is starting to blow up for your girl. Let me pull up what my damn username is. That's how much I don't even know.
Lord.
So I'm new to TikTok. Okay, it's Monique Nicole 94 on TikTok.
I give her credit for being so succinct and honest about that. She's like, I'm blowing up, but I don't even know my damn name. Having said that, one thing that I'm good for is putting great people together. I definitely think there's synergy between Elle and Monique. YouTube, please go check out each other's channels. See if y'all can collab a little bit, grow a little bit. This is a hub. My channel is a hub for growing people and trying to motivate them to keep pushing. So I would love for you to do that. And the audience, go check out these young ladies. They put out great content and they work hard for y'all. And that's going to do it for us. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, check these women out. And until that next Sex is Hell. Oh, I'm going live tomorrow. I forgot to tell y'all that. I'm going live tomorrow with a lady who's running for Senate in Oklahoma, and she's 35. She's smoking. She's black, white, and Native Indian to Oklahoma tribe. And she's running against this white dude who's just trashing Oklahoma. They're last in education.
Whoa.
All this kind of stuff. I will have her at noon on the
Amazing.
Claremont show. And fellas, she's ex-military.
Ooh.
She's ripped. And
Wow.
she is bad. Y'all are gonna love to see her. So come, and she's very smart. I'll let her tell you all the degrees she's got and her ex-military. So, but come check her out. We're done.
Bye.
Bye.